Thursday and we meet each other again. The VIP crew is ready for this virtual event. The seats might be rough, but we will have a jolly time. Is everybody here? Are the avatars in line? There's so much going on in the NFT world. It seems like uncharted sea. Let Matthew and Rizzle guide us through. The speaker is ready and so are we. Let's keep sailing on the metaverse. Thursday's when the lightning strikes. So listen up, there's a lot to learn. Keep the treasure in your sight. Please no one get the veggie draw. Just upgrade your microphone. Together we're strong, we ain't gonna stop. Welcome to the VIP Meetup.
Boom. Quick mic check. Can y'all hear me okay? Boom. Easy with the quick, good audio. What up, y'all? It's Matthew, aka Nifty Time. We're back at the Whip, and this is one of those whips that happens about once every quarter that I look forward to so much. But the wonderful, the incredible Bay Backner is going to be shepherding us through Decentraland as part of Art Week and the Mesh Art Fair. So I'm incredibly excited for that. Metageist, I know, has also had a huge hand in helping to build out that. And I've just heard such amazing things. So really excited to dive into that today and to just blend in as another member of the Whip fam and let Bay do her thing. So before we get to that stuff, quick shills. Rizzo and I, we continue to talk shit every single week together. And Pods Media continues to be like the best place to record and release, our podcasts. Go there, collect it. Like, this is a very, very rare exclusive purple variant with Rizzo's AI art in the background. So definitely not financial advice, but this is going to the moon for sure if you collect it. With that, also make sure, if you're not and haven't been, keep streaking, streakpoints.com. Something will happen there eventually. And make sure I don't hit. Oh yeah, next week, NFT NYC. Definitely meeting up with Easy and Crypto and Brookhawk at least. If anyone else is going to be in NFT NYC, please hit us up so we can schedule a bigger meetup. We'll be bringing stickers amongst other things. So be on the lookout for that. And because of NFT NYC, next week will be off. So this is sort of like a big blowout episode before we go on vacation for a week, but we're coming back on the 11th with some really cool things planned. Thanks to the incredible Fabiano Speziati. And with that, I'm going to shut my mouth up, pass the mic to Rizzle so we can properly get ready for today's Whip. Rizzle, let's go.
Yeah, yo, give me a mic check real quick.
You're good.
Good audio? Easy's right on top of it. Why don't we, while I'm rambling here and before we pass the mic to Bay, why don't we just start migrating over to Decentraland, because that's going to be where the bulk of this event is anyway. So we'll give people a chance to load in there. I'm going to drop the link here in Discord. The portal should be working in world for those of you who prefer to travel in like proper metaverse style, or you can copy paste the link or whatever. So while everyone's loading in, I'll just give you my spiel. Big shout out Foxy Yoga, of course, for holding it down with the pre-whip DJ set. She's crushing it like week in, week out. We got a lot of love to give around. Valiant is also putting up 2 awesome NFTs for Nifty Island, one of the flies and a Metageist spider for everyone who signed the guest book today, on top of the Fabiano and Patricia weekly gift that is in the Hyperfy stage. I don't know if
plug.
Oh my, what? Anyhow, so we got lots of stuff to give away. So make sure you sign the guest book. I'm dropping the link here in the Discord chat. It's also posted in Hyperfy. So you got giveaways coming from Fabiano, Patricia, 2 of them from Valiant today, just for signing the guest book. So yes, sign the guest book and do all the things while I'm rambling here and you're loading into Decentraland. If you are listening in and you haven't been here in a while, we're in the general channel of the Meme Explorer Discord. That's where you'll find all the chat and links dropping and all that kind of thing. Let's see, what else do I have? I'm going to try and keep it nice and snappy. We have a link tree that you should know about. It has links to all of our articles and our YouTube channel and our Twitch channel. And we like set up this thing on Restream that might mean we have like other things broadcasting to other places. We got lots of stuff going on in the background. our incredible WIP crew tinkering with things. So check us out on there when you miss us. If you have questions for Bay throughout the course of the tour today, please direct them at Show in the chat box. He will relay them to Bay towards the end of the tour here, and we'll do a little Q&A time. Make sure you stick around for the group shot with, I believe, Real Paradox this week. We've had like a barrage of fake paradoxes in here over the past couple weeks, but it'll be nice to have the true expert back at the helm. And I think that's about it. I'm going to shut my mouth and we'll get this thing rolling. Last public service announcement. This is like Metaverse public broadcasting. We've been doing this for like 5 years now, just trying to highlight incredible creators and innovators in Web3. So if you like what we do and you donate to the WipMeetup.eth, it'll get chopped up automatically to our crew via 0x splits. So you don't have to trust us. We won't rug you. It's all in the smart contract. If you would like to donate a lot of money to fund the WIP success, we will love you forever. Please hit up Matt and I for details. We are good for it. We won't rug you. And we are also completely shameless. If you have stuff that you would like to give out to our audience, just like Valiant is doing here today and Fabiano and Patrizia are doing on a weekly basis, hit us up. We all love awesome free Web3 things, and we would love to take your Web3 things for ourselves and also give them out to our audience, who is sure to appreciate them. So shout out to the crew who makes this happen week in, week out. Foxy Yoga, Easy, Paradox Show, Dragonate, Conwolf the Stowaway, Brookhawk the Chef, Fabiano, Patrizia, Fractilians, Johan, Pat Ziggy, Matt, Metageist. Thank you all so much. And big shout out to Bay, who's like, essentially, we're just like absorbing her as like an honorary WIP crew member, the way she like crushes these tours, and we have her in here on a semi-regular basis. So thanks everyone for coming out today. And it looks like a bunch of people are here up in Decentraland now. If you haven't made it in there and you're still listening to me in Discord, I'm going to drop the link again while I'm passing the mic over to Bay, and we can get this thing rolling. So, Bay, this is the tricky part. See if your mic works, and you can communicate, and then we're good to roll.
Hey, am I communicating?
Oh, seamlessly.
Hooray! Fractilians, are you with us as well?
Yes, I am here.
Hey!
Already we've won. We're both here.
We're done. This is it. Fractilians is amazingly going to share the screen, and Fractilians has brought this kind of union of the two DAOs as well, the two Discords. There we go.
Okay, I'm sharing the
yes.
screen for you all, and I'm recording as well. So hopefully all will go well, but knowing us, we'll crash something.
We're gonna crash like
everything.
We'll try and crash as much as we can. This is what we do. Welcome everyone to MeshFair 2024 and Decentraland Art Week. We are at the end of 3 massive days, so it has been crazy. You can see in front of you we've got 32 floating cubes in the metaverse from 32 international artists. It's kind of crazy. All of these artists that you see here in these cubes are from kind of the best in VR, 3D, metaverse. Everyone applied to an open call. We had about 80 applications. From that, 15 curators from some of the top art galleries working in digital space in the world. I've just come off a live call with a curator working for the Serpentine Gallery in London, Valum LA. We had a call with Unit London, Office in Part in Berlin. So it has been crazy, and just the interest in what these creators have made has been extraordinary over the last 3 days. So I really, really hope you're going to enjoy this tutor. But there are 32 and we can't take you to all of them. So we're going to dive blatantly into WipMeetup crew first, obviously. So we're just going to be biased and embrace that. So we're going to head to Metageist's installation for MeshFair 2024. Then we're going to head to Fractilians. I see Argent in the crew as well. So obviously we have to jump into Argent's cube. I really want to show you Kanzi's cube too, because it's incredible. And Kanzi, I know, is WipMeetup through and through. And then we're going to finish in, hopefully, if with time, Paradox, a capybara sanctuary, so we can take selfies with the capybaras. That's the plan. So I'm going to drop the links in the chat box in Decentraland right now. So we're going to be heading to Metageist's cube. You will see, and Metageist, do you want to join us to talk about your cube as this is happening live right now in Decentraland?
Hey everyone. Yeah, I
Hey.
would love to. Thank you very much. Am I sounding all right?
You're sounding great. We're going to jump to cube 6357. I've just put the link in the chat. So if you want to ever create a link, just put the coordinates there and then hit it on the blue link, and that'll teleport us directly to 6357, The Observer by Metageist. Metageist, I'm just going to let you talk this through.
Yeah, cool. No worries. I was just going to put it. I can't see that in the chat, so I'm just going to type it in myself.
You
What
see
was it
now.
again?
6357. It's your cube.
Yeah, I should know that. My home address. This is where I live now. Yeah, cool. I'm just going to see if people turn up as well. Yeah, so I was honoured to be brought into the show. It's super cool. I fell in love with the MeshFair last year.
Guys, let me just jump in real quick, man. I just want to let people know that if you stand under the cube, it'll give you a countdown for 3 seconds and pop you right into it. It looks like a lot of people are starting to figure it out. So please go ahead, man. I just want to make sure people can get in.
Yeah, sorry, I should have said that as well. Yeah, so I loved the way it was organised last year and the quality of the work, so I was very happy to be in here. There was a vague sort of theme of exploring and explorers, and I just went with the first idea that came into my head, really, which was initially an observatory. I don't know if I'm lonely sharded, but I'm on my own inside my piece.
Oh no, are you alone?
I'm in there with
which-
a bunch of people, man.
Yeah, which realm are you in? Have you had a look in the URL? Are you in a
I'm
different
on my
realm?
own. Huh?
Are you in a different realm, Metageist? In the URL? What's your realm
equals
saying right
main.
now? Yeah, you should be with us.
Oh, I can see it. Really. Okay, random. Okay, well I'm standing inside it at the moment, so I'm going to assume that people can see it, but I can only see one other person. Yeah, so it's. I thought about an observatory. A lot of my artwork is trying to imagine what it would be like to be a life form, a digitally emergent life form, as a lot of you guys know. Quite a lot of the guys in the call now have got a piece of mind called the Scout. This is essentially what it's like to be inside a Scout. This is what a Scout would experience as it sort of manifests or comes through a portal and looks around at the metaverse. So as you follow the sort of lens around, you can see that it sort of searches around an image. And I've got lots of tiny little animated meshes in there, so you'll see that the stars twinkle, and there's a shooting star, and the sort of like building sort of thing that it spots gets like a little highlight as if it's sort of seen it. This was all made in VR as I normally do so, and the zigzaggy sort of glowing lines, the veins coming out from the iris are going, the idea is that it's scanning the environment, absorbing data, and it's going into sort of nodes into a brain of a digital life form. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. It was great building something like this. It was something I've never done before. I haven't done like an environment that you stand in that is as animated as this. So this is a big deal for me. I'm really proud of it, the way it's turned out. It's an interesting challenge to work within a cube, and I think I just about pulled it off. So I'm really proud of it. And I've really enjoyed using the builder and working with Decentraland and following some of the tours that we've done with the MeshFair sort of contingent. If anyone's got any questions, put them in the chat or whatever. But I guess we'll probably move on to a different cube soon. Thanks a lot for coming, guys.
I can't believe you can't see us. Fractilians is streaming our screen right now, so you can see we're kind of packed in here. And someone's using.
Now.
Yeah, we can see us. Awesome.
Yeah. Just popping in there. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, do you know that you were on my wish list when I created Mesh last year? And one of the guys asked me, he's like, okay, like, you know, if this fair takes off, like, who would you want to see in MeshFair? I was like, well, Metageist. So this is super cool. Yeah.
That's
So,
really
yeah.
sweet. That's yeah, thank you so much for saying that. I'm really happy. I don't want to carry on doing more and collaborate more, and yeah, definitely being as involved as you'll let me be. So let's just carry on. It's wonderful. I'm really enjoying it.
Oh, I'm so glad. Like, Fractilians is using KJ's smart shoes right now to just draw love hearts all over the inside of your eyeball.
I know. I was like, do you guys see it? Do you guys all see it on your end too in World?
No, I can't see it in World, but I can see it on the screen. It looks
Okay.
great.
Okay. I love it too. I love it. It's like I'm graffitiing it up with my hearts.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it looks really cool. And I should shout out to everybody, there is an emote today which allows you to graffiti I heart art on walls in Decentraland. So there's a quest right now. So if you go, when we go back to 6161, if you have some more time, check out upstairs in 6161. It will tell you how to do the quest. You enter 8 cubes a day. It gives you a free emote or wearable if you finish that quest. There's one left today and there's one more tomorrow, and then that's it. So yeah, hit the quests as well as the cubes. Fractilians, I wanna move now into your cube, so I'm gonna drop the link for everybody, and we're going through. So for everyone joining us in World, we are gonna jump now to Fractilians MeshFair cube, which is at 6355. So we're going to go 6355. Again, you can kind of jump in through that link in the chat. Also, like if you're new to Decentraland, you might want to start experimenting with Skybox. So it's something that people have been asking me, like how they change the lighting in the cubes. If you hit the avatar in the top right-hand corner, it changes your lighting. And Fractilians' cube is one of these that looks so cool in the different lighting effects. Like, yeah, so you can change your Skybox, you can see how things work. Fractilians, do you wanna tell us what we're seeing right now?
Well, I tried to write down how to describe this space, and it's kind of like it was a representation of my lost brain in crypto land, and like over the past few months it's been kind of chaotic for me, and I've got stuck in a lot of rabbit holes. And basically this cube kind of represents that, like how you get stuck. And I actually left some of the colliders on purpose so you would get stuck, because I was like, this is my life right now, perfect, I'm leaving that thing in there. And like you go in there and there's like, you know, the audio also is like, I'm so glad it got in there, because the audio was kind of like the what really wanted me to make this. I was at ETH Global at one of the side events, and it was like they had amazing panelists there. It was a full day, and they had these 2 panelists, one with Juan, he's the IPFS guy, and then one other panel with cryptographers. And all I did for those 2 hours was write down terms that they said, and these terms were like rabbit hole windows into other dimensions, and that's in the background. Wow. If you listen, that's what I'm reading out. The terminology that they said were just stuff out of like, you know, futuristic, super big brain crypto peeps talking about stuff that all of us like minions just sat there like, wow, you know, in awe of like these people, these brains, you know. So if you listen to the audio, like you can kind of hear my voice, and it's just me reading this long list of 2 hours of me taking notes of these, you know, concepts and ideas in the crypto space. I kind of drag us down these rabbit hole journeys, and that's kind of the space. Like if you run around it, there's like, you know, I always talk about also protectors. That's what these 2 kind of like, it's kind of hard to navigate in here, but that's kind of how I felt at the moment. So I'm like, I'm leaving it. But these guys right here, they're kind of like the coyotes. So I have a call coming in, of course. A call from the non-metaverse. No, stop. They're trying to communicate with me. But if you see those guys right there, the coyote, the protectors, and I think a lot of times we always talk about like the artifacts, like these realms that we're entering, and these deities that reside within there. So these are kind of like the slice of these coyote kind of like trickster jaguar characters that if you like walk between them, there's kind of like slithers of them, and kind of, you know, it's just a big hodgepodge of madness in here. So at first I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be so annoying for people, and I'm like, well, it kind of represents my state of mind, so that's kind of where it came from. I don't know if it makes any sense, but I hope it does a little.
I love this so much. I'm sorry it's your state of mind, you know. But I love the installation. And are you reading 2 hours worth of notes?
I'm reading about it. It's actually like, no, I picked like about 2 minutes worth and just read through there, and like, you know, I made the audio. It's all like, you know, in what do you call it, FL Studio, and just tweaked out the audio so you can kind of tell what I'm saying, but you kind of not. But yeah, it was actually really, really fun practice. And then you realize how many terms I know, you know, that will lead me down millions of rabbit holes. All those notes and, you know, the wealth of information and knowledge that makes all this stuff that we're playing with possible, you know? Like all of this is built by so many layers of people's passion and artistic, you know, the coders, all the people, they're all artists, you know, and how they allow us to, from their creations allow us to create our creations. So yeah, so that's where. And then this is kind of this is the rabbit hole center, and basically he's sitting on a lotus of rabbit hole ears. So those are all ears of the rabbits that become a flower. So yeah.
Yeah, I love it. It's so cool. And I'm really glad that because you were part of MeshFair number one, like what was the difference for you between MeshFair 1, MeshFair 2?
Well, this one, like, I had so many ideas, and then, like, when it came to starting, like, I went through so many different iterations, and then this one became kind of like this melting pot of, like, madness, you know? Like, I think the main difference was, like, I was so inspired last year and, like, had so many other ideas, but then a lot of times, usually, like, when you start making stuff and throwing stuff in there, I kind of would let it be more freeform. It's like, what am I really feeling right now? I'm like, madness. Okay, this is what my experience in crypto space right now is. And I mean, madness, but also the beauty in that, and also like what it, in the rabbit holes it creates. You know, like you find your pathway. Like even like to get up to this little hole up here, you kind of have to go through like this weird kind of non-existent like pathway that I have colliders that you can get stuck in. But along the way, you learn stuff. Even when you get stuck, you learn a lot of stuff. So kind of was reflecting that, you know, look, I'm stuck right now. Look, I'm stuck in the ears are there. And I kind of like how things are like not how you think they are. But then you're like, ooh, I like it in here. It's kind of cool. You know, look at that. You know, so kind of like looking at how my own life reflects that, like things when you think are at their hardest are actually the most magical. So yeah.
I think that kind of segues us into the next cube. I think we should kind of take that down the rabbit hole into Kanzi's cube.
Oh,
Have
perfect.
you been to Kanzi's cube before?
Love it, love it. Yes, perfect. Yes.
Right.
Let's
Okay,
go.
so we're going to jump. And then we're going to do Kanzi, Argent, and then Capybaras. So let's do 63, 58. We're going to be jumping to Kanzi's cube. So 63, 58. You can see it in the chat on the left-hand side if you're within Fractilians' installation right now. So click on 63, 58, and hopefully we're not going to lose anyone as we jump in. Kanzi, are you with us? Or if not, I'm going to explain what we're going to see here. I don't think Kanzi's with us today, so awesome. So we're going to walk forward into Kanzi's cube. We're going to be teleported up into this dark environment. And essentially, we just entered infinity. What Kanzi has done is created an infinite set of virtual environments through these doors, which react to your path that you choose through the doors. So as you walk towards each wall, there is a door that opens up. There's east, west, south, north. You pick a door, you go through it, and that's going to change. It's like a generative AI cube that creates the environment around you based on your path within the cube and also the doors you've chosen. So if you click a door, hopefully that for you will then start the generative process and you will get some kind of installation being created around you. We've got about, I don't know, how many people have we got in here right now? We're going to test this to the limits. I think we've got nearly 40 people in Kanzi's cube right now. So I'm hoping that for every person in here, we're going to see a different environment around you. So if you kind of take a snapshot of your environment, this is just going to completely blow Kanzi's mind how many people are in this. And so if you click it, you get a different environment creating in the cube with different blocks kind of floating around you. And then you also get a different soundtrack based on your choices. So these are generative soundtracks that are being created in response to your interactions with the cubes. Fractilians, are you able to get it working?
I'm
we
not.
Just completely bust?
I was like
completely bust the code.
I don't know. Maybe it's working for somebody else. Because I have been in here when it worked, so I know what it's supposed to do, but it's not doing it right now.
We've broken the system.
Yeah.
So I would recommend if you're able to jump back in here when we as the WipMeetup haven't just broken Kanzi's cube for him, then Camwolf is seeing. So Camwolf is seeing a load of cubes floating around. So some of us are seeing it, but you have to press the doors and then an interactive environment fills the whole chamber and we have broken it. But this is cool. So come back, see the interaction, and there are infinite versions of this world within the cube itself. We just broken yours as well, Fractilians. You crashed.
It didn't like it. Yeah. Well, I'm reloading it just in case because it's so cool in there, and I wanted to. Oh well, I'll go back for sure again and play.
Awesome. We've broken one. This is good going. Yep. So we're going to jump now into Argent. Are you with us as well?
Yeah.
Yes.
yes.
Are we
Oh
going to
my
go and break? Should we go and break your cube as well?
Yeah.
So we're going to dive into Argent's cube, which is 6055. Again, I'm going to put the link in the chat, and we're going to see if we can completely break your work, Argent. Okay, so let's go. We're going to go to 6065 in Argent's cube. And again, I would really urge anyone to come back and try Kanzi's cube when we haven't all flooded poor Kanzi's code. Oh, okay, cool. So Easy in Crypto got some fireworks. Excellent. So it is working for some people. But if you jump now to Argent's cube at 6055, Argent, do you want to tell us what we're about to see?
A cosmic portal.
Yes.
Eh, Yesterday we were talking a little about the connections with the future with other of the cubes with Antonio and also Ogi. And it is really, really cool to see how did you curated those things, Bay, to interlock our lines of work, you know. In this case, it was the talk on the future, you know, as Fractilians, for example, is the future is now, but also in the future. Now, what we are seeing in here in this queue is a little projection also of intergalactic journeys and how our technology it can evolve into this AI god or goddess in other worlds that links between organic life and technological life or synthetic life.
Yeah, it's a beautiful installation, Argent, and yeah, it was amazing. A couple of the conversations we've been having in the tours. If anyone wants to catch up, we've been recording these live tours within Mesh, and all the artists have been talking about their work. We've had arts collectives from Patagonia, we've had glitch artists, we've had Lauren Moffat, who's just had a tour with us, who was the VR Art Prize winner in Berlin a couple of years back, and is working with people like, she's had exhibition placement at the Pompidou Center. So that we've just got such a broad representation of the art going on, and this tour format of jumping between the cubes with artists and curators has been like a massive joy. So if you want to catch up, it's all on the Decentraland live YouTube. Arjun, when we're in your cube right now, what should we be checking out? I think everyone's finding these emerging platforms that take you up to higher levels. What do you hope we see the most when we're exploring this environment?
Oh, I would like for the people to pay a little bit of attention to the ring that is down and how the particles show the way up, because it's like representing, as we cannot do like a lot of things we are like constrained by the space. Is what I want for them to experiment is their own voyage into meeting this AI goddess that is called Ava Water through this portal. And what we are is coming from the space in theory with the Akira spaceship. And we met here three characters. One is the cat, that is Dr. Luna, that is the medic member crew of the Akira space, and the Captain AK, that both are representing the crew, the rest of the members' crew, in order to meet by first time this AI god entity of this planet called Sonnet Planet.
It's such a beautiful installation, Fractilians. I'm so glad that you could jump back in.
in the music, for example, and all the things that are in here are partly as the talk on the AI is something important is nowadays, and its projection in the future. I use AI tools to generate textures and also the imaginary and the music this time. Well, part of I was trying. This one is not, but I have other sounds that are related to this Cosmic Portal art installation that will be on Twitter these days for the people to listen also as well to have this evolution of the mixture between organic and synthetic life and how we can be in the future.
Fractilians, I kind of want to call you in here because you're exploring the higher levels and I can see your screen. How are you finding it in the Cosmic Portal right now?
Oh, I love it. I love exploring, especially with like, the camera features, how you can like really see it from like other dimensions. I'm like flying up and seeing it from like it looks really cool up here. I love all the layering that you did. It's like it's peaceful yet like frightening, but in a good way, It's just like, what is going on? Am I supposed to be up here? I love the dimensions of it. It's beautiful.
I love how all these lights link the different dimensions, so you get all these different perspectives as well, exploring the space. It's such a beautiful one, Argent. Where do you see this going now? Like, what's next for you in the metaverse?
Oh, well, I am continuing the story because I like narrative story. I'm complicated like that. So I'm evolving Sonic Planet into different chapters. The first chapter was displayed at the Music Fest here in the Centroland. And this is the second chapter. And I'm planning already a chapter to meet a little bit more who are the Akira members and what's going on in this. Why are they flying into a portal that brings them to another dimension, galaxy? And to understand a little bit more who are them, where are they coming from, and how is the life in the Akira spaceship. All of them is connected to music and studies on music to help to minimize chronic pain.
I love this, Argent. I would want to stay here for the rest of the evening, but we're going to jump. We're going to try and do 2 more cubes. Rizzle, have we got time, do you think, for 2 more cubes to jump through? Rizzle, Matt, we got time to jump 2 more?
Of course, yeah. I think so. We're making good time, and this has been like a nice brief tour of each one. So let's get 2 more.
Let's go. Okay, I'm going to show you then. We couldn't get Kanzi working, but I'm hoping we're going to get an interactive one by Ova, who is a Taiwan-based design house that's been doing some really cool experimentation in the metaverse. So we're going to jump to Ova's cube, which is 6055. I'm going to put it in here, and there's lots of teleportation to be had if we don't break it. So we're going to go to Ova. 6055, and I'm going to stick that in there. So there should be a blue link you can click and jump in. Oh, no, I've got that wrong. Over is, I've just taken us back to Argent's cube, obviously. 6560, the other way around. 6560. So it's called Catatonia, and it's a cube built on teleportation. So when you go in, we're going to teleport into the cube, and then every single glowing white ball that you see should be a teleportation device if we can keep within the system constraints for this. So if you click a ball, it should teleport you into the ball as we move around the cube. And so Ova I kind of met when we were doing the Wellness Festival, and they were they did an interactive build with yoga. I don't know if anyone that was here for the yoga build, it made you do yoga on these interactive platforms. And in here, they're experimenting with this idea of space and time and being able to leap between different dimensions in just a 12 meters by 12 meter cube, which in fact seems infinite in the way they've created this with these different teleports. And what's nice is that we can kind of teleport into each other. So you kind of get these balls of people hanging within teleportation balls. Fractilians, have you been in this one before?
Yes, I have. I didn't realize I could click on the balls. I was just running around in circles like a madhouse. Like I usually just... And then I start clicking, and then I didn't realize the balls of teleportation. I love that. Really cool.
Yeah, it's super cool. I really like the mixtures you kind of get with people's bodies as well when you teleport into the exact same space across
like
space and time.
Back of my head. Like a...
We kind of had some conversations in some of these art spaces because obviously the community in Decentraland it's just been really awesome supporting the tours. And we're bonded now, Fractilians, in this ball.
Cool the antlers. We're waiting for more friends to come join us.
Come join our ball. So it's been this interesting one.
Like how different each one is. That's my favorite part about it. You know, like each cube.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's when I start wanting to show everyone more and more and more and jumping between these spaces because there's just so much to see, and each cube you could spend time in, or you can kind of enter and get the vibe and then jump between them. It's been a really incredible experience putting this all together. And I think just the difference in approaches as well, like Over's an architectural practice, so you kind of see this integration into their architectural preoccupations, the sense of space, whereas I think we're going to quickly have time to jump into Carla Knopp's cube, which is very much from a fine art. She was a classical painter for 20 years, and then that translates into a metaverse environment that she's created. And then we'll finish in Capybara Sanctuary by Sabato, who is linking to Brazilian heritage and his connection with the biologies of Brazil and what it means to him and his family. And just these stories that are translated into these 12 by 12 meter cubes has been one of the absolute joys of producing this event. Rizal, I'm really glad you're in the same ball as us. I don't know how many people can how many people we can get in a ball.
There's 3 right now. There's 4, and then they run off. And then I know I was trying to count that as well.
I think Dragon Nate's joining our ball. Nifty time. It's turning his back on our ball. He's not going there. But Dragon Nate's jumped in. I'm going to encourage everyone before Akami's jumped in.
That's a good picture. Everyone jump in one ball. See how many feet and weird protruding heads. Look at that. That looks so cool.
I'm Matt. It's just not getting it. Matt's just not going to be joining this ball with us. And Sid's joining us. We haven't killed it yet. Sid's just jumped up in the chat saying, have we killed it? We haven't. It's still going, which is fabulous. So, yeah, we're doing really well in this ball. So I think we have time to jump to 2 more cubes. I really want to show you Carla Knopp's because it's so different and the lighting's incredible. And then we're going to finish in Sabato's Capybara Sanctuary. But I would urge you, if you head to meshfair.com, all of the cubes are there. There's all 32, and if you have time just to jump between them, then please do. We're also having Decentraland award ceremony in 2 hours' time, where 3 of these artists are being awarded the first Decentraland award for art. So it means that we can actually celebrate some of the metaverse artists, and Decentraland can back them financially. So there's a $5,000 reward for the first prize winner, 3,000 for second, 1,000 for third, and that's gonna be so cool this evening, seeing who Decentraland has chosen as these award winners and being able to award those to VR and GLB artists. Because I think one of the reasons we started this fair was that there really aren't that many opportunities right now to show GLB works. And so to be able to bring all the artists together in this file format and make these awesome installations has just been awesome. Bivfiend is still in the chat talking about the dragon in SidXO's installation. If you have time to jump to SidXO's, there is a dragon to fight. We're not going to get there now. We're going to quickly jump into Carlin Ops. But as you can tell, there's just so much going on right now across the board in these cubes. So Carlin Up is 5964. We're going to jump across to 5964 and see something really, really different. And then we're going to jump into our capybara sanctuary. So 5964 for Carlin Ops installation. $59.64, and it's called Parasol. So Colin Up started as a classical painter, and she's been working across metaverses like Mona to kind of translate this vision of hers into metaverse spaces. And she's created this installation called Parasol with this interactive avatar in the center. So if you click the different icons that you can see a smiley face and a parasol and some hands. They then interact with the avatar, and it's going to be a bit difficult with all of us in the cube to click them, but if you can move someone out of the way and start clicking the cubes, you'll see that the avatar starts changing her face, her body, the way that she interacts with us in the environment. This is I love this one. I love the lighting. Can you get in there, Fractilians, or are you struggling?
What number is it?
It is 5964. I'll stick the link in the chat so you can teleport directly.
Brown, though, right? I thought I was there.
No. So 5964. Chat.
Oh, there she is. She's right
the link's in
behind
the
me.
chat. Yeah, got it.
I was like looking at the wrong thing. Yeah, Carla's great because I did a lot of I know her from Mona back in the day, so she's awesome.
Yeah, so it's so interesting to talk about her practice as well, the fact that she comes from this in a really different way of hoping to create these emotional environments in the metaverse that really leave you with a sense of something different and haunting in what she's created. So you'll see this interactive avatar in the center with different buttons that you press, and then each of these buttons does something different.
Where are the buttons? Just you click on the avatar?
You click on, can you see there's like a parasol, some hands, a smiley face? By her, like some icons sort of floating in the ether around her. It's quite, like we're all sort of crowding around, so it's quite hard to see them. There's like a teapot, there's like a lotus to your right, like a lotus flower. Can you see it on the screen?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like barely there, okay.
Exactly, so if you click that, she should do the avatar.
So
there we go.
It's beautifully creepy, you know? Like, that's what my son would say. It's amazing.
Yeah. And just how sort of creepy it gets with everyone crowding around her as well. You come here on your own and it's kind of creepy, but then this kind of dynamic of us all crowding around this poor lady in the center of the Decentraland craziness. You have this sort of sinister but beautiful, quiet figure in the center of it all, being forced to do strange movements and interactions with us with these buttons. It's a really effective installation for me. Argent, have you been in here before?
Yeah, I love Olgelta's art, that is Carlin Up, and how she develops also a storyline and storytelling with this character. The main characters that we see here, she has used it for videos and other things. And at a certain level, I believe, but I don't know because I didn't ask her. But I think it's like her alter ego on you know, or her like her projection of herself into art, three dimensions. But I'm not sure. That maybe just my interpretation.
It's so beautiful. And again, I urge anyone to just come back on their own and get the different feel of this when it's empty.
Sorry to interrupt, but I don't know if you figure it out, but it's not only the avatar with the movement. If you look up, the perspective of the cube has been altered. And because these days I was looking at that and I was thinking, oh, this cube, why it looks different to the rest of the cubes, and the perspective and so on. And it's because the perspective of the cube that we are in has been altered. If you see, do you see the corners?
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's coming in on us and getting higher. Wow.
And not only that, it has been is shaping it like a cone a little bit. So in the base is bigger, but in the upper part is smaller. So that's how you can have this altered perspective as well.
It's amazing. I really love this work. I could spend a lot of time just seeing how this changes with the interactions.
Yeah, I love it. Also, I was wondering, how she's going to make that the avatar is going, because when I wrote her, I read her proposal and knew what she was going to do. I was thinking how she's going to manage to do this in WoW. And she did it like really, really, with really sophistication and elegancy.
I completely agree. It's so elegant, and just the different feeling of Enter this one is something really different. Which kind of brings us now. We're going to jump now to our final cube, which is Capybara Sanctuary. And this is by an artist called Sabato. He's originally from Brazil, but he's now residing in the United States. And we're going to jump and hang out with the capybaras. So the Sabato cube is 6660. So we can jump there directly from the chat. 6660, and click on that, and it's called Capybara Shelter by Sabato Visconti. And we're going to jump in. And Sabato, I think probably many people know Sabato's work. He's a really quite renowned glitch artist in the NFT community. I would really recommend following him at SabatoBox on Twitter. He would love it if we'd send some selfies from inside the Capybara Sanctuary. But this is a Capybara Sanctuary within the metaverse. We can see in here a woolly mammoth, a stolen woolly mammoth. So this is actually a stolen Damien Hirst golden woolly mammoth that his brother did a 3D scan of, and he's imported into the Capybara Sanctuary in Decentraland. And you can see here we have this glitched artwork of trees, which is expanding and contracting. And then around us we have cappies.
Be real quick. A couple people got lost and needed to refresh. Can we just drop the coordinates one more time?
Yes, it is 6660.
Awesome.
And if you want to enter linkable coordinates, you just write them without a space. So 6660 all is one word, and then that with a comma in. So 6660, and we jump in. And I don't know about you, Zul, but I thought this would be a cool place for a photo.
No, this is absolutely perfect. I'm dropping the link. I'm hopping in there now. Looks like a bunch of people are getting in. I know some questions have been rolling in from the audience. So at some point, we should pass the mic over to Show. I don't know if you want to say anything more about the capybaras, but I'm about to get right in there. I finally got over the cube.
That's awesome. Well, happy for the questions.
Yeah, let's pass the mic over to Show.
Hey fam, how's my audio?
Hey, it's great.
All right, we have a question from Argent. They would like to know, what are the main differences, if any, between producing in real life as opposed to DCL?
That's such a good question. Producing in real life always goes wrong. Producing in DCL always goes wrong. I think it's the fact that we can be much more imaginative in here. So you can kind of think, okay, right, I want the cubes to rotate, then I want them to like come towards someone. And just that sense of, collaboration, bringing people in, really allowing people to go crazy with whatever they want to create and not having to think about file restrictions. Obviously, having to think about polygon counts and file sizes, but that being something that everyone can play with. We're trying to do a spatial installation right now in Copenhagen, in Tech Contemporary in Copenhagen. And that's proving to be a lot more challenging because not only are we thinking about GLB works, but we're also thinking about how they can be translated into a physical space. And in the metaverse, we don't have to have those kind of restrictions. So it's just much more open, imaginative, thrilling, and then you have this then thing of anything can go wrong. So I think it's more enjoyable for me anyway. But it is very fast paced because things just do break. When we woke up on Tuesday morning, the Quest system had broken. I think we had about 6 queues that wouldn't load anymore, and so this kind of scrabbling to redeploy, rewrite the code. You get so much respect from everyone who is on the TypeScript side and turning this code around so quickly. Just big tech issues, but also then the open horizons of using tech rather than in-world events.
That's awesome. We have another question from Hidden Forces. He would like to know, is the scale of the cubes locked into some in-world real estate or volumetric constraint?
That's
Is
a really
audience
good
size?
question.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, they're all 1x1 parcels in Decentraland. So when I first designed Mesh last year, a 1x1 parcel in Decentraland is 16 meters by 16 meters. So I had to, with my really basic 3D modeling, I made the first mesh cube. So I had to work a way of having a cube within a 1x1 parcel because I thought I would have to deploy this myself in my Decentraland world. So I was thinking, okay, if I have artists in, I need to be able to deploy that really quickly. So I'll have a 1x1 parcel in Decentraland with a 12 by 12 meter floating cube, which allows me to have a ramp that avatars can run up to access those cubes. So that became the format of MeshFair because they fit nicely into 1x1s in Decentraland.
In addition to that question, Hidden Forces wanted to know, is audience size making its way into discussions of digital architecture scale? And also, are there any ways to create pocket worlds inside Decentraland that might mitigate the problem?
Yeah, it's a really good question. Decentraland's right now working on, I think we've got Kim. Kim, are you in the audience right now still? Yeah, Kim, if you want to join us on these questions and just jump in. But Kim Curry is in the audience, who is from Decentraland Foundation, and Decentraland are working right now on a new client, which will be released pretty shortly, to kind of mitigate a lot of these problems of multiple people being in the same environment at the same time. I think Decentraland's pretty far ahead in terms of it's getting smoother and smoother into having 50 to 200 people in the same space. But the ideal is having even more people. Kim, hey.
Hi everyone.
Hi, so this is Kim Korea from Decentraland. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? Hi. Hi, Kim, are you still there?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can now.
If anyone hasn't checked it out, I can post the link in the channel, but we released a manifesto this year that is all the upcoming kind of teasers or alpha for the year, but the biggest one being we are basically rebuilding the entire technical foundation of Decentraland, because what you're seeing in the client and everything is what was built in 2020, and then the team has just continued to build on top of that. And so within that, there you go. So within that, you can see the team built on top of it, which over time has just kind of maxed out its capacity. So there are some performance issues that can't be fixed without redoing the entire infrastructure. So that's what the team has been working on. They're making amazing progress. And we announced during yesterday's community all hands that there will be an unveiling at our community summit May 22nd for just what that could start to look like. So that's not when it'll go live, but that'll be an unveiling of some of the tech and people can start to see what's happening. We're really excited about how that will open doors for people. But one of the things I have seen them test is lots of people emoting in one space at one time. So I know that's definitely a big part of the new infrastructure.
Thank you so much, Kim. So, Sho, does that answer your question?
Yeah. We also have another question from Metageist. Actually, a couple. He would like to know what has changed with your process between this year and last year.
That's a great question. I had more help this year. So last year, it was sort of my own project that I wanted to do whatever happened. Fractilians, I wonder, could you mute your stream? Would that be okay? 'Cause Sid's music is awesome. But
Sorry about that.
Thank you. Last year I sort of thought I was going to do this by myself. It was something I wanted to do, and I had help from some amazing friends and creators. But I can't really say, guys, can you just help me out ad infinitum without putting something together that really is self-sustaining. And then what happened was, because of the work I was doing with Welter, the collective of creating kind of immersive installations in Decentraland, Decentraland kind of brought me on board to produce more events. So I produced Metaverse Music Festival last year, Decentraland Music Festival, Wellness Week in January, and then Kim and the team were so supportive about MeshFair, because Art Week was brought forward into March, and they said, look, do you want to do MeshFair at the same time? And I said, okay, thinking I would have to kind of build and deploy it on my side again. And actually, the team just stepped in and created these incredible interactive cubes, made it essential to Art Week Plaza, whereas last year it was a kind of separate deployment that we did on the side of Art Week Plaza. Whereas this year, a lot of the deployments you're seeing here, the styling, the creation of this interactivity, the cubes themselves were textured by an amazing artist called JP at Decentraland Foundation. The plaza itself was designed by Shibu at Decentraland Foundation. So it meant that I could put a lot more time into getting the big galleries on board, communicating a lot more about with artists, planning these tours. It's been a really collaborative effort this year. So thank you so much to everyone that's been part of that. It's really brought something special together. Thank you.
That's cool. Metageist also wanted to know, what are some of the surprises and challenges you've had, and what do you have coming up next? After a well-deserved rest, by the way.
I love that I have to learn the tech. I think that's one of the things about working in a small team. Decentraland's events team, we're surprisingly small, and we kind of work so closely with each other. So things like provisioning the wearables dispensers, that's I can do that now. I'm sort of using this proprietary tech, diving in, learning more about TypeScript. What we started with all the events is actually getting a lot of the curators to do their own. We couldn't do it with the MeshFair cubes because a lot of our 3D artists maybe don't have the coding side, but for a lot of our creators that they're actually, in the wider Art Week, I should mention, we have 4 huge interactive galleries that are outside of MeshFair. So we have one by Shashwat Prakar, an amazing gallery exploring Indian, different upcoming Indian creators. We have Match Zimmerman's gallery off on Pavilion, which we should definitely explore if you have time after this, which is going to be hosting the after party after the awards. So let's see, 2 hours time we have the awards, and then the hour after that, 3 hours time, we have a big party at Match's Pavilion, which is at 5353, and that's incredible. It's got like camouflage from World War II battleships, coating a building which then interacts with you as you walk through it. We have Archimesia's gallery, watercolor gallery, which is really immersive space. And then I've created a small installation about art. A couple of weeks back, someone dropped out of a 2x2 space. So we jumped in and we created a gallery really quickly, Adrienne, Martinez and I, to sort of talk about community selfies and the DAO and a kind of a Decentraland in-joke. And then also we have, there's an amazing tour earlier today by Matahar Gallery. So it's a 4x4 gallery installation, again, in Decentraland Art Week Plaza. Take a look at it. Amazing architect called Leonardo Marchesi, and collaborated with a guy called Luis de Cordier, a gallery artist that had led in 2008 an expedition to find the lost labyrinth of Egypt. So I spent my afternoon hanging out with Luis de Cordier and Leonardo in this gallery, exploring Egyptian amulets, 3D scans from dig sites, this incredible Metatron they'd created in the center. And again, we've recorded that and it's on the live. So, show, I don't know where the question went, but yes, there's lots to explore and it's been brilliant. Show, have I killed you? Hey.
Show is dead. That might be the question portion. Yo, Bae, thank you so much for. Oh yeah, show says no further questions. Yo, thank you so much. I mean, Matt and I were saying in the podcast yesterday that we know every time we come into Decentraland with you that you absolutely crush the tour, and this was no exception to that rule and everything. So, I think we should do the group shot though. We got a whole bunch of people up in the capybara spot. I'm gonna drop the link again here in Discord, but if you aren't in here, get up in here, and we'll throw the mic over to Paradox and do the group shot thing.
Yeah, Rizzle, just massive shout out and thanks to the WIP crew and just how inspiring you guys have been to my own practice. It just keeps everyone going. It's just a massive thing that you do every week. So thank you. And thank you to everyone who's jumped into Decentraland right now. It's such a cool thing to see you all in these cubes. So thank you so much.
I have one last question for you, Bae.
Ooh, stop the theme song for the question. Go ahead.
Thank you. Where are you watching MeshFair evolving in the near future and in longer future?
Oh gosh, that's a really good question. I'm obviously going to keep doing it for some reason, because it's so cool and I'm just really enjoying doing it. I'm talking with some organizations right now. One called Don't Delete Art, which is a organization looking at the suppression of arts on platforms like Instagram, social media, through algorithmic kind of moderation. And we're seeing a lot of people being suppressed on these platforms right now, especially people that are from minorities and are using their bodies in their own works. So I'm actually thinking of doing an art show about censored art. So taking Mesh, running with it as a concept, but opening it up to 2D artists and people that are maybe in political situations where they can't show their art or that their art's being suppressed by algorithms, and hopefully creating a show in a virtual world where we can see these artworks, we can access it, and bring in organizations like Don't Delete Art to curate elements of that show and bring something cool into the metaverse that you actually physically couldn't see anywhere else because these artworks are being suppressed by algorithms or politics or list anything that is going on in the world right now to actually shut down artistic freedoms. That seems to be the next project that's kind of coming together. And also, obviously, Decentraland Gaming Festival, which is going to be in June. And I'm really excited to be hopefully producing that going forward.
Yo, Bae, thank you so much. I think you're preaching the choir here. Easy's already saying he would like to help. And I think you just captured the vibe, right? Like, why do we keep doing the thing we do? Because we love this thing and that's what we do, and are able to shine a spotlight on incredible creators from around the world. And that's the common thread here, and I think why we all vibe and get down with Bae and the whole team over at Decentraland when these things come around. So, appreciate you too, Bae. Please keep us in the loop when these things keep coming up, and we'll be here to support like we always have been. So let's get this capybara group shot going on.
Just a humble cameraman looking for a tiny bit of attention. It's me, Paradox. Get your asses in line and smile for the fucking camera. No one cares about Matthew and Grizzle, that's for sure. It's about me, Paradox. I'm taking over the show.
Okay, cool. So if you've not been listening, I am Paradox. I'm the resident WIP videographer, and this is the point of the show where we take a group of photos. So, Dragonate. Excellent, thank you, Dragonate. Okay, so cool. So I'm going to post a image of the shot I've got. Let's see if that goes through. So if you look around, you should see a guy holding a camera, if my avatar's still here. Kind of gather in the middle and face the guy with the camera, and that's the shot. I'm going to wait for the thing in the center to shrink a little bit, and then I'm going to take some screenshots. Let me just do another screenshot here so you can all see which direction I am. Can you see the cameraman? Is he still there? Yes. All right, cool. Okay, a couple of people maybe come out the center just a little bit, just so you're not obscured. Okay, cool. This is going to be an interesting one. Try and gather a little bit closer to the cameraman. Closer, closer, closer. Come on, nifty time. Come on, bless it. Oh, no, there we go. That's getting there. There we go. Okay, cool. Let's get this. It's a very tight space, but let's give it a go. So, let's try this. Okay, what we're gonna do? Stack a couple images. Now what I want you to do is to all run around like crazy in circles, so I can grab some video. In circles, go, 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 go. Come on, Foxy Yoga. Go, Foxy, go. Beautiful. Excellent. I reckon that'll just about do it. Cool. Just download a bit, dragging it. Okay, so if you are new to the WIP, I edit together a recap video of these events every single week, and you can catch them. They go out on Rizzle's Twitter. So, with that, that's everything from me, and I'll catch you all next week. Paradox out.
Yo, killer event today. Thank you so much, Paradox, and everyone for coming out. And it's like I said before, it's just so cool to shine a spotlight on some of these awesome creators out here with us day in and day out, doing incredible things within these constraints provided by MeshFair and DCL, which is one of my favorite things, to see what people can do with only so much stuff to work with and everything, and it never ever disappoints. So I'm gonna hot potato the mic over to Matt to see if I missed anything, but once again, thanks to everybody so much for coming out today. Big shout out to Bay for holding it down on a regular basis for us with incredible tours and stuff lined up. It looks like this capybara is about to eat Dragon Age shoe, so I'm gonna do something about that while Matt wraps it up here, and make sure y'all stick around for the after show.
Yeah, no, just double clicking into what Rizzle said. This was absolutely amazing. Again, what we've come to know from Bay and Fractilians and crew when they put on these events in Decentraland is they always consistently knock it out of the park. And to hear the artists share the background and meaning behind these spaces makes me so excited for the future of the entire space, but also like specifically about Decentraland and their evolution. So yeah, just kudos, Shia LaBeouf, applause in an empty theater. Like, that's the whole thing. Bay, Fractilians, love y'all. Metageist, doing work, loved your space as well. And incredibly excited for the future. With that, let's cue up the afties.
Wait, is this thing on?